We just watched Exorcist Believer.
We did. This is the first in 3 new Exorcist movies from Blumhouse, with David Gordon Green directing and co-written him, Danny McBride. And like I've said before, I just find it a bit like J.J. Abrams did the new Star Wars and the new Star Treks, these 2 big things.
Yeah.
So these guys, they did the Halloween, the 3 Halloween, the continuations, not the remakes. At least it's not remakes. That's what I'm glad about.
Yes.
The same with this, because there's just no way in hell you can remake the original Exorcist. It'll just be embarrassment.
I also think it's an impossible standard to live up to.
Yeah, it's 50th year, half a century old, still a good movie, still an effective movie. I mean, it's pre CGI.
Yes.
It's just pre everything. I mean, that was when that movie came. The original Exorcist came out. It was just no one had ever seen anything like that, and it just turned the world upside down.
Set the bar very high.
Yeah.
And it's you were 3 years old and I was not born yet.
Yeah. It was a year before you were born. And it's still quite a movie. So now, when I heard that they were taking originally, word came out, everyone thought it was going to be a remake, and people were freaking out and saying, "Are you out of your minds?" I'm glad it's not a remake, but it could have, technically, it could have just been a possession movie without being linked to The Exorcist. But now it's such a valuable property that comes with this instant recognizable, but then it could really turn people who are super, and that horror fans, especially 70s and 80s horror fans, are just rabid.
Hardcore.
That they can turn against you like flipping that.
And I think they might have some of that happening.
I mean, it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like a band that gets a new vocalist. They are just fans of the old band. They're going to say, no way, even if the new vocalist is better than the original guy. I'm sure there's still people who are fans of the first 2 Iron Maiden albums with the original vocalist and think Bruce Dickinson sucks.
Yeah.
But, okay, this movie starts off in Haiti, a couple down holiday, going around there, and there's a tragedy. 13 years later, the guy's a single parent, and his daughter and a friend, they go missing. That is, very much the first third of the movie about.
Yes, the pacing for me in the beginning felt like it was a little bit slow, but I think it was done purposefully.
Yeah, definitely.
I also would like to add that I liked the fact that they sort of went back to a more traditional, like Heretic.
Which not everyone hates, but all super Exorcist fans, they have no good words to say
the
about
origin
the
is like of the Pazuzu is like the old Mesopotamia, Middle East, North Africa.
It took a wrong turn. It's closed.
Yes.
The fucking road is closed. Okay, let me do this again. I don't want to get into how and why this happens, because that's just part of the narrative that you must enjoy when you watch the movie. But it's, if you're now to go and think, what do you do with this you cannot outdo the original Exorcist, so what do you do just to make it a bit different?
Change it up a bit,
and they kind of sort of doubled it up.
I think yes, and I think they did a good job in doing that.
And it was also not, it's possession, you must fight this evil, but it's got all these pieces, family issues, different types of religions, just lots of interesting things that they throw into the pot here.
I think the general message is a nice one, because I think it in a world that's currently incredibly divided and polarized, I think essentially it's a at the end of the day it's a beautiful message.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of people will disagree with me on this one, but
it's a matter of, you know, you don't need to be religious.
No.
You can be possessed whether you are religious or not, or whichever denomination you are, and you don't need to watch this movie and have any kind of religious faith at all. Just like you shouldn't be deterred from watching it if you have serious religious faith.
Yes.
Because if you do have serious religious faith, you must be sure of your side, that you can overcome things if this could happen. I mean, can it happen? That's the thing. If people who atheists or just agnostics or anyone who think that religion is just made up stories, you know.
I think, yeah. I mean, if you don't look at it from a religious perspective, you can look at it from a psychological perspective. In both cases, it is a person suffering. That's the long and the short of it.
Yeah. But now, technically, this is kind of the Exorcist 4. The first Exorcist was Regan and her mom. Regan was possessed. Her mom was freaking out. The priests did their thing. We all know that.
Yeah.
And the heretic was around Regan. Mom is not shooting because she's an actress. What's her name? Chris McNeil.
Yes.
Her mom was off on a shoot, so the whole movie rotates around Regan. And the third Exorcist goes around the cop that was involved, friends with Father Karras.
Yes, that's right.
in the first one.
Yes.
So now this fourth one, Ellen Burstyn's character, Chris McNeil, actually gets brought back in. It's not doesn't revolve entirely around her, but I like that. If you look at all these movies, those are the people who are in them.
And we're not going to give it away, but the very, very ending of this film I found particularly
it's very
beautiful.
cool.
Yeah.
And the question is, will they bring in Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells? I was sitting wondering. The soundtrack is very understated. I didn't notice much soundtrack actually.
No, and soundscape. There was it was almost lacking a bit.
Yeah.
I think they could have done something there.
Yeah. Interjection. Please like and subscribe.
Damn it.
Before we carry on.
Yes.
And leave a comment. If you think what we are saying is a whole bunch of crap, let us know in the comments. If you think you agree with us, do the same.
Yes.
I can just imagine when they were sitting writing, coming up with story ideas, all the options that were flying about. You know, for starters, are they going to maybe use a boy for a change instead of two girls?
The original story is actually based on a boy.
Yeah. So I was thinking whether they would do that, but you know, there's just so many different angles you can go with this. But now there's still a 2 and a 3. I was actually thinking, as we were watching this, maybe they would really throw everyone for a loop if they make the second one in these new 3 movies. If the second one is just one long, protracted court case.
Oh no.
Huh?
No.
No, but if you think of this movie,
yes,
you know.
I mean, there's a lot happening in this movie
without giving anything away.
Yes.
But you know, wouldn't that be something that would happen?
Yes, but it would veer very much into the direction of drama.
No, I'm just kidding.
Away from horror.
But technically, that's what can happen. No way it would, but it can.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the fact that the one little girl resembled Regan almost bloody spot on.
Yeah, and she was the best. She was the best.
She was brilliant.
If you have to now weigh
the two, they were both good, but I didn't watch
a single. I didn't watch anything. When the trailer came out, I saw it was almost 3 minutes. I said, nah.
No ways.
We just placed it on the Horrorfest YouTube channel without looking at it. And I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, me too.
Because there were so many things that just, if I had watched the trailer, I knew it would have been, okay.
Yeah, I think it would have given away.
So there were absolutely everything about it. I had no idea. I didn't read anything. So I think I probably enjoyed it more than someone who watched the trailer. I think there was 2 trailers or maybe any kind of featurettes and stuff like that. Save that for later. So if you haven't watched the trailer, just go watch the movie. We sound like broken records about this.
Yeah, but and also I think try and my brother-in-law watched it with us, and he is a hardcore Exorcist fan, and he enjoyed it. But I think just be realistic and just understand that nothing
No.
is going to live up to the original. Nothing.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Like most original works, I mean, it's based on William Peter Blatty's book. You know, it was just such a good adaptation. He ended up directing the third one. We actually didn't mention, if you click the corner there, you will find our playlist for all our Exorcist reviews.
Yes.
And we also put in the William Peter Blatty calls it his Faith trilogy.
Yeah.
The first Exorcist, the third Exorcist, and the ninth Configuration.
Yes.
The movie that he wrote and directed, which was based on another one of his books. And one of the things I was thinking about is the Exorcist TV series,
Yes.
where it goes off onto Regan's story. So I don't know if this could actually link in on the side.
It felt like it almost could.
Yeah, because I can't remember if her mom got pulled in anyway in the series.
Yes, she did.
Is it? Okay. It was interesting to think about it like that. And also there was a priest in this. He was a bit too similar to the priest in the series.
In the series,
yeah.
yes.
For a moment I thought they're actually going to
use the same, and use the same character, yes.
But now, yeah, it's a drama, it's a horror movie. On your scarometer, there were probably 2?
No, 1.
Not the snake in the water? Okay, so just 1 scare.
Yep.
It was a good one.
It was a bloody good one, yeah.
It was a matter of, especially if you're a parent, we're not parents, but we have dogs, and we treat them better than some people treat their kids.
And relax, we're not comparing dogs to kids.
And when the movie opened with 2 dogs fighting, I thought Sonia's going to go, oh no, first shot of the movie she's going to be pissed
Weirdly,
off.
I didn't think that
Okay.
at all, yeah.
Okay, cool. But I thought when it started, I thought it was going to be kind of there in the area of the dig with Father Merrin, Max von Sydow's character in the first Exorcist. I thought it was going to be in that Pazuzu type area, but it wasn't.
It's
People are going to expect lots of things, and it's not going to happen, and they are going to find some unexpected things happen.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if someone else did this, if it would have been a totally, I'm sure it would have been a totally different thing, but now
Who directed the film?
David Gordon Green, who did the 3 Halloween movies.
Sorry, I know. Sorry, you did say, but I think the pacing in the beginning was intentional. It was incredibly slow, and I think that made the ending jump out a little bit more because the ending was quite fast paced.
Yeah.
But I think they did lose something in the. I feel there's a few missed opportunities along the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, without saying, we don't want to spoil anything, and like I said, I'm sure the trailer spoiled a lot already, so I don't want to add any to that.
Yeah.
I would think if I'm going to score this, I can't give it more than 6.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
Also 6.
Also 6. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's good. I always say it's good, not great. So when it's skirting great, it's 7, 8. It was. I don't know if it will now. If these 3 movies are going to be linked.
Yeah, if it's going to form a cohesive.
Yeah, like those 3.
We might revisit.
Yes.
Yes.
Like those 3 Halloween movies that Blumhouse did with the same guys. To me, I saw someone post today asking about Halloween Ends. How do they like it? This guy liked it. He wants to know if anyone else liked it. But to me, it's like this part of 3 movies.
Yes,
it's one piece.
You don't see it. Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know. I might give this a 7 if we watch them all.
Yeah, maybe.
But for now, I would rather give it a 6.
The thing with Halloween Ends for me was cool because it in 2 ways. It could actually stand on its own, and it rounded off a trilogy really well.
Yeah. But each movie would get different. To me, the score was actually for Halloween. It was like
yes,
like sort of 8, 7, 6 kind of a I can't remember now what we scored them, but
Yeah, me neither.
it feels like a slow decline.
Yes.
But if you had to stick them all together,
It would be it makes a different
it
picture.
would even it out. So maybe it will be the same with these Exorcist movies. So that's down the line a couple more years that we have to wait to see these. And they had to move the global release date. They moved it from the 13th. Obviously, it was exciting to do it on Friday the 13th.
Yes.
But they had to move it back to the 6th because Taylor Swift's tour movie.
Oh, geez, okay.
They released it, so they said, we're not going to compete with that at the box office.
Yeah, no.
So they moved it up by a week instead of on by a week.
One thing I do want to add, sorry to go back, to jump back into the actual essence of the movie, is that I think the title says a lot, and I think there's a very strong message in that as well, is that you can't fake belief. You cannot. You can pretend, you can look like it, you can do all the right things, but
you can have faith without being religious.
Yes.
Which I liked about what they brought into this.
Yes, agree.
Yeah, without saying that.
Yes.
Because that's I don't want to say anything about that, because when you get to that, that's cool.
Yes.
Like we mentioned, we did a 50th anniversary screening of the original Exorcist, and for this Believer advanced screening, we picked ticket winners from that show and from people who book tickets for other Horrorfest shows, so they can get a bit of a perk. So they can say, yes, this is worth it. This festival is worth it. So yeah, we watched it with a bunch of Horrorfesters.
It was noticeable, and I enjoyed the fact that it was a horror crowd. They knew when to laugh, they knew when to shut up, they knew when to say something.
Yeah.
True horror fans. Not your run of the mill.
Unless you're watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space
Different story.
Or Return of the Living Dead, then you can just go nuts.
Yes. Especially the little person one.
I'm gonna add that right now.
Oh my god. Oh. Net dink mense ek's rude met little people.
Yeah, it was funny. Cinematography didn't jump out as being spectacular,
but it wasn't poor.
It was very muted, especially towards the climactic scene. There was some CGI bits that we always mention the corridor guys. They will look at it and they'll go,
yeah.
It's kind of a smoke effect that doesn't look realistic enough.
But
Did that bug you?
No, I actually kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more out of this world.
It added a little bit of evilness in the whole. Not that there was not a lack of evil, but it just sort of solidified it a little bit.
Okay. Well, then both sides get covered, eh?
Yeah.
And the sound, that's we always talk about. Sound mixing is sometimes very annoying, with the dialogue being very low and then the sound effects being loud.
Or the music being loud.
Yeah, and it was a similar case here, although I think the projectionists had the sound just a bit too low, because there were whispering bits where I couldn't hear what people were saying.
Yes.
But tiny gripe, but it's something that people must just think about. We must maybe get our friend Simon Radcliffe, who's part of our Macabre ensemble. We do our live soundtracks to silent films at the Horrorfest. He's an award-winning sound engineer, mixer, Atmos expert. We must have an interview with him and ask him about what the hell is happening happening with just what's going on with movies like Tenet. And big, huge freaking movies with the dialogue seems to be shoved in the bottom shelf.
Yes.
Unless you need this super theatre system where the dialogue is sitting here, and when you're watching it at home in stereo,
it gets lost. Yeah.
It's just gone. Possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll chat with Simon maybe one day about that. final stretch of getting our Horrorfest Film Festival finalised for Halloween season. It runs from 25 October to the 6th of November. Cinema shows at the Labia Theatre in Cape Town and streaming via Quicket.
Yeah, come and support.
Yes, it's going to be fun. There's some interesting movies. Again, we've got about, how many? 10 hours of short films.
Yes.
Some fantastic ones in there.
It's amazing.
From all over the world.
Yes.
Spain, UK, Canada, France, Australia.
Netherlands.
Some South African ones.
Yeah.
It's interesting Russian movie. It's just some very, very, very cool stuff.
Yeah.
And missing out on these shorts, I just get so pissed off when people don't bother to watch these
You're
shorts.
not going to see them anywhere else. You're not.
And it's some of them are just like, man, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And some of it's hilarious, some of it's just strange and weird and artistic. It covers every single base.
Becoming more difficult every year on year because the quality becomes off the charts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because initially we had 3 volumes, then we did 4 volumes, then we did 5 volumes.
Yes.
And we do one cinema selection. We pick a bunch from all those 5 volumes that are online for one cinema selection, so
Yes.
you know that you're going to get the best of the best at the cinema screening.
Yes.
But loads of other cool stuff like R.L. Stine's Zombie Town with Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase, if you're an 80s kid.
Shark Exorcist.
Shark Exorcist. We're opening the festival with Shark Exorcist so we can kick it off with some crazy, non-serious shit.
Yes, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is always a blast.
Yep, the live soundtrack of The Fall of the House of USHER.
Yes.
We've got a market happening on Saturday the 28th outside the Labia Theatre with a bunch of interesting vendors, some cool stuff. We have more serious European movies like the Austrian-German movie Mother Superior, French movie Pandemonium. Yeah, man, some very, very interesting stuff. So please don't miss out and kick your ass. Horrorfest.info or anywhere on Facebook, Instagram, SA Horrorfest or South African Horrorfest. Just search those and you'll find them. We don't want to just sit here and retell the story.
No.
So we're keeping it very vague. Obviously, there will be an exorcism. But it is that's basically what happens.
Yes.
Shit happens leading to an exorcism.
Yes.
And what's the outcome? It's also, the outcome is a very...
Yeah, the outcome for me was actually quite shocking and surprising and hectic in a way.
Which
oh
is,
my word, yeah.
it was a good move, I think, to really throw the audience.
Definitely, yeah.
So we hope you will check it out. I don't think a 6 is a bad score. It could lean more to 7, but I don't not just
let's
yet.
talk
Not just
again.
yet.
Yes.
We'll see when the other 2 come out.
We'll revisit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please like. Please tell your friends to check it out. If you prefer more intellectual conversations instead of a stream of consciousness straight out of the cinema yapping, then hey.
We're probably not your thing.
Yes. So, see you next time.
Bye.
Ciao.